Welcome back to the Fridge channel. You know what I pride myself on? Not beating around the bush when I feel some injustice has been done. If someone or something is being misrepresented as it pertains to me or my life or my career, I will come out and say how I feel, who and what I have a problem with, and what I'd like to see done about it. And today, we'll be looking at how not to handle your problems online. This matters to me because this individual is seemingly clearly struggling, and I have some sincere advice for them. Hey, just shut up.
Derapy.
The caption for this Twitter video is, "For the culture is a pack of nonsense. If you haven't done it yet, open your damn eyes." Now, this is the main issue that I want to address with this person, with this video, with this kind of content. Do you guys remember like 57 seconds ago when I started talking about why I'm talking about the thing I'm talking about today, you know, to give you some greater context? This person just kind of assumes that people are going to know what they're talking about. And I think that is a product of somebody that is far too invested in the forces around them to the point where they just assume that everybody knows what they're talking about and who they're dealing with. And let's just start this video so you understand how crazy this sounds.
The way that these guys push narratives is fucking sickening.
Brother, who are you talking about?
Hip-hop is back, bro. Lyrics are in. I can feel the shift, bro. I don't know about you.
Who is he talking about? Is he talking about creators? Is he talking about random people on Twitter? Is he talking about you? I don't know. Also, relax with this tone. I don't like it.
I can feel the shift, bro. I don't know about you.
Brother,
But let's try and decipher what this man is talking about, who he has a problem with, and what we should do about it.
I can feel the shift, bro. I don't know about you. Okay, if that's the case, then why didn't you react to a single album that Boldy James put out this year?
Okay, so I think I'm starting to understand it. He's saying that reaction channels, they shouldn't be talking about how there's a culture shift in hip-hop because they aren't reacting to, I don't know, music that he thinks is what?
When he put out 6. How come no one talked about Larry June and 2 Chainz album? What about the LP that Nems dropped? Busta Rhymes dropped an EP. Never heard anyone talk about that. What about Jim Jones?
We do not care.
So just to make sure I'm getting this right, What's the Dirt, who is the person in question, is upset and thinks that people are being disingenuous because they are not reacting to the list of albums and artists that he's named and he thinks are culturally relevant. But like,
this is culturally inappropriate.
Who are you to determine what other people should be creating content on to prove that there's a shift in the culture? Like, just trying to say it out loud sounds crazy.
What about Currency and Harry Fraud? What about Young Buck's new album? Smoke DZA, he dropped a tape. Wait, so if you're so for the culture and representing the culture, why didn't you talk about KRS-One's album?
Now, I would once again like to reiterate, we don't know who exactly he's talking about. I think it would be really nice if he could let us know who is quote unquote for the culture. I just think it's kind of interesting that this white guy is trying to say that somebody isn't of the culture. We don't know because he won't say their name. He's trying to say that they're not of the culture, not because they're not listening to the music, because they could be and just not creating content out of it, but because they are not creating content out of the hip hop artists that he enjoys, which, by the way, like, why doesn't he just do it? But we're not even gonna get into that right now. I'm just trying to understand the angle. I'm just trying to understand the point.
Let's go to the other side of it. What about Coda the Friend? Fairly new rapper, right? Really doing real hip-hop. How come no one reacted to his album?
No one reacted to his album? I just find it hard to believe that What's the Dirt went on YouTube, searched up these names, and typed in reaction and review, and found 0 results. Like, there are definitely people that are doing it. Maybe you're just not seeing it in the circle of people that you are claiming to have a problem with but won't name. My goal is to find where this is stemming from. This has to be personal in some way. What is the point?
Capadonna, Wu-Tang. Where was the reviews of West Side Gun's album? What about Lloyd Banks? I didn't hear a single person talk about this.
I'm trying really hard to be nice with this episode because I want to come at this from an angle of like, this person is clearly disturbed and needs help. I didn't hear anyone talk about this. Who are you talking about? Who are you subscribed to? Say their names. Or potentially unsubscribe to them and subscribe to people that do cover the music you like. Spoiler alert. I have listened to this, and I think I have a theory on what the point is, but it's gonna blow your mind.
Benny the Butcher, brand new EP. A$AP Rock, this dropped 2 months ago. Oh, but when it comes to the Carter 6, that's a different story.
Yeah, because Lil Wayne was once seen as the greatest rapper in the world, one of the greatest of all time. The Carter series was the soundtrack for most of my childhood growing up in the South as a black person. Kind of odd that What's the Dirt seemingly has an issue with people talking about the Carter 6 album. Like, were they not supposed to? What exactly is the point?
The culture needs to talk about that because that makes money, right?
Well, then why didn't you talk about it? If it's a easy money play, just talk about Lil Wayne. Like, I don't... Wait, is his point that, like, oh, if you guys talked about these guys, it wouldn't pay well. So you talk about this guy who is very relevant and popular and one of the greatest hip-hop artists of all time. You talk about him because people care about it and it'll pay you well at your job. You fool. Either he's upset that these other people just simply aren't talking about the artist that he wants them to talk about, which, you know, in that case, I would just recommend use the search bar. Or alternatively, he's upset because, and I typically never say this about somebody, but it's kind of giving... Yeah. That's rude. I don't even mean that. Like, he definitely has more money than me. That's not the point. But I just think it's kind of odd for him to be like, you don't talk about this music that I like. You're only talking about this music that people care about because you want money or something. It's like, yeah, that's... Yeah. Is it possible to like both care about hip hop and the culture of it while also wanting to put out like optimal content to, I don't know, feed your children or whatever? I don't know. Maybe he doesn't believe in that. Listen, I want to get a little bit candid here because I'm going to be honest. I can empathize with What's the Dirt, not because we're like alike in any meaningful way outside of the trajectory of our YouTube channel, right? Just hear me out. 9 of his top 10 most popular videos on his YouTube channel are about Kendrick or Drake. Same. Brother, same. Maybe he's insecure about that. I've embraced it. I'm a Kendrick channel. But honestly, this feels like a little bit of projection, you know? He's like, you guys claim to care about hip hop, but you all only talk about the same thing. Still not really naming their names or their content or their stances, but whatever. What am I saying? I know what it's like to be in your position. You feel like if you don't talk about a very specific thing, then people aren't going to care. People are going to tell you that you fell off or you're like a owl merchant or whatever. They were calling me a Drake channel and I've been hating on him for a year. But why do I even bring up the 69 God? Because of this.
And you gotta scratch your head when it comes to an album like Public Enemy's new project, right? Like, if you're so for the culture, why didn't you talk about this? Oh, but everyone talked about Clip's new album, right? I wonder why. Because it had a massive Rock Nation push, one of the biggest industry pushes we've seen in years, and that you'll actually make fucking money if you talk about this? Again, because you care so much about hip-hop, you gotta talk about Drake's new tracks or anything he does and talk about how it's totally not hip-hop, right?
This is about defending Drake. This is about defending Wayne, who is Drake adjacent. This is about being upset that people are talking about Clips, who is Kendrick adjacent, because he's on the album. This is not healthy behavior. We did all of this preamble, all of this yapping, all of this listing off of hip hop artists that What's the Dirt claims are for the culture that his ops aren't talking about, just for him to get back to the point that he's been making for months and months and months now. Stop being mean to Drake. He's actually great. You guys are obsessed with Kendrick. Meh, meh, meh. You guys only talk about these certain things because they make you money. Meanwhile, all of his most popular videos are literally talking about the same thing. So here's my advice. Just shut up. YouTube is such a sick job. It's really fun, especially when you have a great community of people that love and care about music. But shadowboxing other creators because they're not creating the type of content that you think validates them in this whatever culture, it's really pathetic, and I really wish you would stop. It kind of hurts me to see somebody else that's like in this perpetual cycle of like trying to fight fights that I know that there's no way you can win. You honestly think that people are going to watch this white dude from Canada's video on Twitter talking about people who he's apparently too afraid to name and saying that they're just like farming content that they think people want to see? It's literally their job.
Yet, because you represent hip-hop so fully, you got to talk about Drake's lawsuit and how that's not hip-hop.
Everybody should be talking about Drake's lawsuit and why it's not hip-hop. You know what's so interesting? I would actually be willing to hear out What's the Dirt's point if he was, one, specific with who he was talking about, and two, didn't make it about defending Drake. He is actually implying that talking about Drake suing over a rap beef isn't hip-hop. It's not good for the hip-hop culture. He's saying it sarcastically, as if that's a bad thing.
Of course you gotta talk about Drake's lawsuit.
Yeah, of course. The guy that said that he studies rap battles for a living sued after he lost a rap battle. But somehow talking about that is anti-hip-hop? Like, that's what you shouldn't be talking about? You lost me, brother.
But now all of a sudden, real hip-hop is back, right? It's a bunch of malarkey. They've been pushing it for a year. People are sick of it. I'm calling it out. I'm sick of it. It's a bunch of nonsense.
Who are the people that are sick of it? Who are you calling out? What are you doing about it? It's cowardly, it's lame, it's the wrong messenger, it's not direct, it provides no solution, it provides no examples. It sounds exactly like this other video that he put on Twitter. This one he didn't delete, like some others that he has.
If you're a creator who goes out of your way to conceal your identity, hiding your face, even hiding your voice, and you're out here criticizing other people, like, you are literally the definition of a full-blown fucking bitch.
This is another video where he's calling out a creator that hides their face, hides their voice, but he's too afraid to even say the name of the creator. And the only reason everybody knows who he's talking about is because that creator has made a bunch of videos on him and then they argued on Twitter about it or whatever. But it was picking a fight that was going nowhere because, again, he's fighting a ghost. So again, here's my advice. Either be direct, cite a source, show an example. Don't just list a bunch of artists that dropped this year and be like, nobody's talking about them. If you want to prove that you're better and you know better and you actually care about this quote unquote culture that you're claiming doesn't really exist, why don't you talk about them on your own channel? You have your own channel with over 300,000 subscribers. Stop crying over people making fun of Drake. It's not gonna stop. I got a lot more left in me. Be the change you want to see. Stop complaining about other people getting a bag. Stop whining about the culture. I know you're upset because the cool kids don't rock with you. Some of the same people that hate you hate my guts too, but you don't see me crying on Twitter about it. Just drop the Meet the Grams breakdown. Stay off the Bird app. Try to stop your brain from rotting. Anyways,
Like the video.
that's all I got. Thank you all for tapping in. Be like SZA today. Don't take the bait while Mercury is hot or something. Love you, mean it, spread the bread, enjoy the outro.
Seems like girls like you only want one thing from a nigga like me. Cause you see me got my money right, yeah. And you see me shining, I'm so bright, yeah. You want me to give you all of me when you give nothing in return. Tell me how that work. Tell me how that work. Who are you? What's your name? Where you from? What you like to do? What's your free time? Who is you? What you want? You need to be me. Me plus you equals us.